Hi guys, happy Sunday night. This is going to be my last video of the weekend and of my vacation. This is going to be a belly band card, but it's also a fun fold. So it's really a unique type of fold. Sometimes, depending on the designer paper you use in that, it could get a little bit heavier where you might need to use that extra, 17-cent stamp or whatever it is to actually go up from what a normal mailing is. Also wanted to let you know that on this, you're not going to get 2 cards out of a sheet of cardstock. Usually when you have what I call a book fold, where your fold is on the longer side, the 5.5 side, or if you have the flip fold where your fold is on the 4 1/4 side, you can get 2 of those out of a sheet of cardstock. Okay, on this one, you're only going to get 1 card out of a sheet of cardstock, and that's because of the way the folds is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cardstock and you're going to go to the 5.5, and you're going to cut there. So that's going to leave you with 5.5 by 11. Then you're going to push up your blade, because now we're going to score. And on this 11-inch side, you're going to score at 4 1/4. Then you're going to score again at 7. Let me bring that out so you can see that. You may not be able to see it the whole way. Alright, so then you're going to score again at 7. And then you score at 9 3/4. Okay. And remember, you always want to fold in on that bump. It helps with breaking those fibers up. So then when you actually fold them back and forth, it's going to look like that. Okay, let me get my bone folder, just so we can make that crease nice and crisp. Okay, so there you go. Then you're going to take your designer series paper, and I like to have 2 to 3 different ones, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces you're going to put down on this. So you could take 2 sheets and use the front and back sides, but sometimes the colors, you want to rearrange them. And since our cutter can cut through 3 sheets of DSP at one time, I go ahead and cut all of them at once and then decide what I'm going to do. So on these, you're going to make 1 cut at 5 1/4. So here's the 5 1/4. Of course, this is going to be your 1/4 inch smaller than your card base. So back up to your cutting blade, 5 1/4. Then you're going to turn this way. You're going to do 1 cut at 4 inches. You're going to do 2 cuts at 2 1/2. Sorry. Sometimes when you have those extra sheets of DSP, it doesn't slide through as good. So you're going to do 2 at 2 1/2. And then that's going to leave you with 3 inches that you're going to cut in 1-inch strips. Now, if you're doing 1 sheet and just, going back and forth, that is fine too. I just like to have a variety when I go ahead and do this. Because you know me, I can't make a decision. And this will leave you with a lot of extra pieces. Okay? So we're going to put this away for now. I'm going to bring out my glue, and I'm just going to show you the different size. So there's the front sides, and then here is the back sides, and that's on that 2.5 by 5 1/4. Here are of course your sides for that 4-inch. Then you have a whole bunch of the 1-inch. So you're going to do a 1-inch on the first flap. This one, I want to kind of make a bold statement. So I think I'm going to get one of those darker images there. Okay. Going to use my glue stick just because I want to be able to move it around, make sure I have my good border on that. So come down here, position it all up, and press down. The back side of that's going to be the inside. So I think what I'm going to do there is I'm going to look here at my pattern sides. So I have a pattern on the one. I think I'm going to do the watermark side on the other. And keeping kind of with the color scheme, I am going to go ahead and go with this. So let's put a little glue on there. And that's going to be on that. Centers how you want it, then press it down. This is where you're going to use 2 of these. So since I have that pattern there, I think I'm going to do like that. And let's see. See, this is the hardest part, and this is why I like having a lot of different ones. I think I'm going to do this because there's not a lot of purple there. So I'm going to introduce that purple color in there. So I think I'm going to do that one there, and I'm going to leave this there. Put that on there. That on there. Oops, got a little bit on the card. Okay, so there you go. Press it on down, hold it for a second, and that's going to be your card. Of course, you're going to have an inside to the card. You can have that just as a whisper white. I don't have it cut down, but put a whisper right there. But I'm going to show you now how to do the belly band. So you have this piece that you cut off. So you're going to bring your trimmer back in. And I like going at about 1 inch wide. If you want wider, you can. It depends kind of on whatever band or whatever focal point you're going to put on that. So I go down the whole length. And what I like to do is I like to bring it up on one side and bend it, and then make sure it's pretty straight and do the other, just so I have those crease marks. You can go ahead and, you know, crease it, score it, and go about. But then I'm always going to put that actual fold on the back. And then I like taking one of my extra pieces. Let's go ahead and look at that. You could put an extra piece there if you want. You can take a thinner piece. You can take just a, I don't have like a punch out or anything like that, but like if you had like a big snowflake or something, you could put it on there. But then what you're going to do then is going to go ahead so I go on that end, and then I like going on this end too. That way both ends kind of have it. Hold it down for a sec. You know what I think I'm actually going to do? I think I'm actually going to take one of the darker pieces that has that, and I'm going to cut that in half again, because you have a lot of these extra strips. You only use 2, but you're cutting 3 out of each of them, if you remember. And since this is going to be of course, that 4 1/4 going across. I'm going to cut it down at 4 inches. And then I'm going to just take off a tiny bit. A smush. I think that's a actual word, but I want to leave the darker. Take off just a smush on that side. Glue it down. Place it on. And then we're going to put that white piece in there, stamp a little thing on it. Put your belly band on. If you wanted to put some words in here, you could. If you wanted to put some decorations, you could. But then we're going to put that belly band on. Sorry, I'm off camera. I forget about that when I'm standing. So we're going to put that belly band on it. And this is going to fit a little bit tight the first couple times you do it. But then, and there you go. You have this beautiful, easy trifold. Uses a little bit extra cardstock like I told you. But a beautiful, wonderful effect once you get it done. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see you again soon.